Jah Rastafari. It is good to reason. Let's reason on the Indian influence on Rastafari. The 1st of August 1834 was the Declaration of Emancipation of African slaves in the British colonial Caribbean. The East Indians arrived in 1838 to start the indentureship program, which was the serving or working in the sugar plantations for the minimum of 7 years. The East Indians were allowed to practice their way of life or religion such as Hinduism and Islam. The Indian coolie brought Hindu traditions. The sadhu, holy men, were dreadlocks, and this was a great influence on early Rastafari. The Hindus were vegetarians. They smoked ganja. The use of ganja was brought to Jamaica by the East Indians for medicine and spiritual purposes. In early days, ganja was called Kaliweed by Rastafari. Hinduism is a way of life, similarly to the levity of Rastafari, a way of life. In the early days, many people were not comfortable with Christianity. It is considered the religion of the slave master. The Hindu influence first entered revivalist culture, and they accepted Kali Punja, the Hindu goddess. In the 1920s, Indians started about 1910. They moved to Kingston and settled along the Spanish Town Road. The area was known as Hindu Town until the mid-1960s. Leonard Howell interaction with Hindu, particularly their leader, Dancook Dari Moraj. The difference between Howell and Joseph Nathaniel Hibbert was that Hibbert was a Garveyite and therefore a Christian. Howell was not a Christian. He was leaning towards Hinduism. When Hibbert Howell heard of Hindus, he started to read up about them. He also started discussion about the Hindu gods Rama, Krishna, and Buddha. Now Hibbert was convinced that the white man had their own God in Jesus. The Indians have their own God in Rama, Krishna, and Buddha. The Africans must have their own God somewhere. He was determined to know about him and find him. When the 1930 coronation of Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia was published in the newspaper, with all titles given to him in the presence of world leaders, with all that knowledge, Leonard Howell was the first one to declare the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie as his African God. After this declaration of the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie, Hibbert incorporated the Hindu codes into Rastafari. The supremacy of black people was one of the codes, which was incorporated by Hindu Lalu, who was a close friend and associate of Leonard Howell. Howell also adopted the prayers of Lalu and many Hindu words in Rastafari levity. Howell went further and changed his name to Gangar Guru Maharaj, which means ruler of and knowledge of the world. The smoking of ganja is the invoking of the Hindu goddess Kali. Ganja is part of the goddess Kali food. The ganja influence spanned from 1930 to this present time. The smoking of ganja as a sacrament or as the sacrament is of Hindu origin. The same way, ganja is a sacrament of Rastafari. Kali, Kali Punja, goddess Kali was hailed as Jah Kalimai, meaning victory to Kalimai. Also the words Jai Kalimai is interpreted as Jah Rastafari. Vegetarianism and the isolation of menstruating women from the kitchen is the practice of the Hindus in India. All of this, plus the input of Lalu prayers, was totally Indian influence. The great Bob Marley, the reggae master and icon, named himself the Tough Gong, the name associated with Howell, who was the Gong. Now we know of the influence of Indian Hindu culture in Rastafari levity. Let Jah Rastafari be praised. Itinerally. Let knowledge cover the earth. so we know where we are coming from, and we will also know where we are going in this hour. Ja, Rastafari.